right, 6 o'clock, we can call the meeting to order. First, we'll call order. Kayla?
Here.
Fred? Here. Nora?
Here.
Kyle?
Here.
Dusty?
Here.
Melissa?
Here.
And Patrick is here. So we are all here. Any changes to the agenda?
Sorry, I don't think so. I don't have anything.
Okay. Can I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
I can make motions now, so I move to adopt the agenda.
I'll second.
All right. The minutes from the March meeting. Any changes?
I noticed a few things. So under A, Harris has 2 R's in it. Then under D, which is public comments, the MHPN annual conference is in the second sentence, or sorry, in the second line, and there's an N at the end of MHP. And then under reports, E4, I noticed that there was an extra word. The sentence is, the cemetery has already been done leaning on by, or Dusty, but it should be without done. And then Dusty should have an I at the end instead of a Y. And then that's near the bottom of the paragraph. And then under H, which is the commissioner comments, Fred is misspelled in the third sentence. It should be Fred. Currently, there's an S at the end. And then SHPO is misspelled at the bottom of the paragraph, which is the State Historical Preservation Office. It's currently typed out as SHPO, and it should be SHPO. That's all.
And E3 is Neil Conway with the city, N-E-A-L. Yeah, it's spelled N-E-I-L.
Anything else? We have a motion to adopt or approve the minutes as amended.
I move.
I'll second.
And public comments. Pam?
One sec, Pam, we'll get you unmuted.
You might have to hit the button right in front of you, Patrick.
Now?
There.
Okay, good. Thank you.
We have a brand new chair. We're just working on some of the kinks,
yeah,
you know.
I learned that. That's okay. I think that's great.
I know what this is. It's not calling an emergency.
I just got tonight's meeting documents this afternoon. I've been distracted. My husband was hospitalized for a couple of weeks this month, and so I'm really running behind. I realized today I didn't have the documents. Kyle was kind enough to send me the link, and I was very surprised by what I saw. I was surprised by the minutes, which appear to be a translation of the recording rather than minutes. Like, I'm not quite sure what that is. It looked very confusing to me, and it was difficult to follow. That's comment number 1. Comment number 2, everybody knows that the MHPN conference is coming up next month. And number 3, one of the items, F1, that is on your agenda tonight cannot be addressed by you tonight. It is in an inappropriate format, and it did not use our gifts and grants program application. You have a copy of that application format that I brought with me. Luis distributed it. It is available through a link on the very first paragraph of the O'Connor Fund web page, and that is what needs to be followed. It was an attempt, and I think a fairly successful one, to make it less stringent than a regular O'Connor Fund grant application, and it involves a couple of steps: a 3-minute presentation by the applicant, the adoption of the idea of the program by one of you, the Preservation Commissioners, that would then work with the applicant to come back and make a presentation that outlines the criteria that are on that form. So I'm very sorry that there was confusion. I wasn't there when the conversation was taking place. I probably could have managed to get an answer to you if I had had a phone call or an email, but I didn't. So that is the process that needs to be followed. I'm sorry, but I also think that given all the work that Gary has gone to prepare the application that he submitted, it's not going to be difficult for him to translate that into the process that you need to have. You only see an O'Connor Fund application after the O'Connor Fund Committee has seen it and made its recommendations. Any questions from anyone? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Louise, do we have anything?
No changes otherwise, so we'll address the other things when they come up.
All right, then first we have the financial report.
Right into them. The fun parts. Alrighty. Nothing too crazy on here, I don't think. We're going to start to see now things that we'd paid for in the past, such as the catering for the pre-application meeting for the O'Connor Fund grant process and the rental for that same meeting are the two expenses that we have on there right now that you'll see on the expenditure report. You know, goes hand in hand with the balance report, so if you guys have any questions, just let me know.
Anyone have any questions on the financial report? Okay, Preservation Month plan.
Okay, so the Preservation Month plan has an update from our April work, which is on the last page of the document. Hopefully everyone had a chance to read that. Essentially, we're recommending that we award both nominees that have their applications included after, for the discussion items. Our rationale behind that is included in the write-up, but essentially we believe that they certainly exemplify the standards and the guidelines that we use to review the nominees, and we'd like to see them honored. Also at the bottom there of that paragraph, we're announcing too that we're having Sharon Ferraro speak at the award ceremony on May 27th. And now that that's all sort of figured out and locked down, I'll be sending the flyer that I'm going to hang up around town and try and promote to the rest of the commission, so you can send that to your networks as well. If everyone can try and get like 2 people to come, that would be awesome, not including yourself. But yeah, we're looking forward to celebrating in May, and hopefully this has informed a bit of our rationale again, in addition to just reading the applications yourself. But I guess we'll make the decision when that comes up in our agenda.
Anything else on that? Okay, the O'Connor Fund report.
Pam, I don't know if you have anything you want to add, but we had substantial gains. It looks like fund is looking good. I just put the numbers that I got from the website in there. I don't know if you have anything you want to add to it, but O'Connor 1, the net assets are up to $81,000. The current available balance is $18 grand. O'Connor 2, net assets are up to $579,000, and the current available balance is $70 grand. Anything you want to add or no?
Just that it was great to see that first half of the big yield land in the fund. That's all.
Remarkable to see the first half of that. Yeah. I know I harp on this a lot, but I don't think that we can. It may be pretty easy for all of us to be kind of numb to this, but to understand how fortunate we are to have such a pot of money available to us to spend. You know, I don't think that most preservation commissions in the state have $18,000 alone to spend on money. So being able to leverage, you know, the 88 grand that we have spendable, but then also truly being able to leverage the 600, 750, whatever. I'm not that good at math off the top of my head, but that bigger pot of money too is remarkable to me. Don't let it wash over you and don't become numb to it, I guess, is the thing that I'll continue to try to harp on. That's a lot of dough that we have at our disposal. Yes.
We will talk about this at the grant-making committee, but it's hard not to think about how we might envision taking some of that spendable portion that will come as a result of this big grant and doing something more or something different.
The big gift.
Yeah,
Okay, yes.
yeah, gift. It's hard not to think about it, but we'll get there eventually.
Has there been any movement on the merging of the accounts and shifting the accounts around?
I hope that wasn't an audible groan from me. I don't know if the microphone picked that up. Sounds like it did.
I specifically sent a note to the community foundation, which has picked it up and run with it, and they are working on an alternative to what was originally proposed. They didn't. The comment was, we don't know exactly what the DNA of it looks like yet, but I suspect that because there are attorneys involved, it's going to take a little while longer. No?
Why would you? No, come on.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But at this point, I don't think we should get anxious about when it's going to happen, because I'll keep on it, though.
Pam, you will keep on it. I'm sure you will. I think that, and I mean that truthfully, not facetiously or in jest, and I think that we're fortunate right now. I wouldn't call this a silver lining because I'm not sure of the upside, but we're fortunate that we haven't had to disperse any of these things right now, right? Like people are, KNEC, for example, is not completed yet, so it's not like we're scrambling to get the money out in the first place. So that is a good position that we've been placed in, all things considered. So thank you for your persistence on it. It is still in the works as we speak to make this a little bit smoother for, it's not making your guys' job any easier, but future iterations, and in the future it'll be easier to disperse those funds for the charitable arm of the O'Connor Fund.
Okay. On to discussion action item 1, the Preservation Awards of Merit nomination. Nora, do you want to start with this?
Sure. So hopefully, again, everyone had a chance to review the 2 applications. Are there discussion items that we want to have over anything pertaining to them?
I can talk about them a little bit. Pam, thank you for writing both of these. Wonderful nominations that you gave here. And know that it's a relatively small community of preservationists, it feels like, in the city of Kalamazoo, but I couldn't think of two folks that are more deserving of the Historic Preservation Awards of Merit. So truly, thank you for writing these, and these are glowing recommendations of both these folks. I don't need to get on a soapbox about both of them, but like I said, can't think of two people who represent two kind of disparate arms of preservation in the city of Kalamazoo, and then two people that have been, I can't think of you and Sharon, obviously, but two other folks that have really helped me out a lot, so much in my career. Lynn, with just the immediacy of her knowledge of things. So if I have a question, sometimes it's almost scary to think about the quickness with which she can pull up pictures, and the help that she always gives me is invaluable, I think, just being a colleague as well. So was very pleased to see this one come through. It's been at it for a long time, I think, as well. I don't mean that as a dig at age or anything, but it's great to see all these different iterations of Kalamazoo that Lynn has witnessed and she can speak to with firsthand experience, and then just the wealth of knowledge that she has for things going way back in the city of Kalamazoo, looking at institutional records, but also just looking at pictures in other records, newspapers, et cetera. The work that she's done with the walking tours, I think, is something that a lot of folks immediately call to mind when they think of Lynn Houghton, right? That is a way that she has been able to meet a lot of folks in the community. A big deal, and again, I like to talk about people being brought into the fold of preservation. That's a great way to bring folks into the fold of preservation, even if they don't know it, right? Of going out on these house tours and understanding what architecture is, and understanding that we might be making converts to preservationists in the act of doing those tours. Continuing to work with the 5 faves things, something that I always look forward to when I open up Encore, and I'm an avid Encore collector, I will say. Very meaningful to have the public history roundtable. All these things in composite, right, really make a big impact in the preservation landscape in the city of Kalamazoo. So very deserving. Blair Bates, if we step outside of the realm then of kind of the archival realm, since the document's in front of me, I don't often get to speak about contractors in this way, right? But Blair is just an excellent mason who I think his work speaks for itself, I think, that he's done with masonry. But the other thing is his commitment to education, which has also been outlined here, is just phenomenal to me, of always willing to teach folks, always willing to do so in a way that I think is uplifting, right? Willing to work with homeowners to show them, always being honest with folks, and a commitment to safety and a commitment to doing masonry the right way has kind of turned me into a very limited knowledge of masonry, I will admit it, but it's made me very become a stickler about masonry, right? And that's the one thing that when I look at houses I get the most worried about, because I don't want people to mess it up and I don't want them to ruin their own houses. Folks that have worked with me on maybe their own houses might know that as well. Just like Lynn, Blair's knowledge of masonry is almost scary as well, seeing someone be able to scratch some mortar and tell you more about it than you would be able to know, I think is a remarkable skill to have. And I don't think I can state enough how valuable that masonry work is to some of the buildings that shape the way that we see Kalamazoo, right? The work on those buildings helps them be able to stand for many more generations. His work with the Old House Network, too, and work with, this commission and doing education with this commission is, I can't call it anything but charitable, right? To be able to work with not only commissioners that wanted to attend, but the public at a very reduced rate, I'm sure, has been a great way to share some of that knowledge as well. Lynn, if you have anything else that you want to add to my ramblings there, or if anyone else does, but, oh, what did I say? I'm sorry. Lynn, oh, sorry. Pam, if you have anything, don't know if you have anything else you want to add.
Yeah, just one quick thing about both of them. As I was putting these nominations together, it struck me how they are both leader educators. they don't just write about it, but they get out there and they show you about it. And in that way, they are way more active than lots of preservationists. And they also have values, sustainability values that they believe is at the heart of preservation, not only for a building, but for a block, for a city, for a state, that kind of thing. So that's it. I can't wait. I hope they'll both be there, and I'm going to work really hard to get some people there to help celebrate.
Sorry, I got your name wrong. Thanks for correcting me, everyone.
People do it all the time.
Yeah,
They wrote a book together.
true. Oh,
They are,
might have to, there we go.
It's on.
We're public history students from Western Michigan University, and we've worked with Lynn a lot, and she's really amazing, and she's been super, super helpful with any project we possibly could ever need information about. She's the girl we go to, so I just had to add that in there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Maybe Lynn's watching, I don't know. Just to echo what Pam said as well. I can't overstate enough, I think, when we're looking at preservation specifically, but when you get into anything, right, there's generally this barrier to entry that I think the accessibility of both Lynn and Blair is invaluable to have too. I alluded to it earlier, but this, there's not a gatekeeping sense there. There's not a sense that, hey, you're not allowed to get involved. They're both open books with their knowledge, and they are so willing to share. There's no malice for the uninitiated or the uneducated either. There is just saying, you know, if this is what you know, that's great, we'll start there. Those are two things that, even outside of the specialty in preservation, that willingness to bring people into the fold and that willingness to meet them where they're at educationally, I think is the most important thing when we're looking at educators and when we're looking at leaders into this field and when we're looking at expanding this field so it does not become a niche thing that's going to go away. So again, thank you so much for putting them together, Pam. I won't get it wrong again, I promise. Anyone else have any discussion about these that we want to talk about with them?
If there's no more discussion, I think we can proceed to the vote. Should we do these separately, or can we do this all at once?
Fairly confident they can go all at once, but if
Yeah.
someone disagrees with me, you know.
Anyone
let me know, but-
disagrees? Okay. All right, so all in favor of giving Lynn and Gary,
No, Blair.
Blair, sorry, I was looking at the other one.
No,
Sorry.
They're just names, you know. That's how I feel about it.
I wouldn't. Lynn and Blair, awards of merit for historic preservation. This isn't roll call, this is just,
You can do a voice vote for this one. It'll be
Yep.
okay. Yeah.
all in favor, say aye.
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 Any against? We'll have two people with awards.
Very good. Do either of these folks know that you nominated them?
they both know.
Okay.
Yes, I don't know if it's okay for me to tell them that they're being.
You certainly can. I just wanted to know if they're going to be completely blindsided when I reach out. Okay. Okay, gotcha. You can reach out and let them know, but I will be sending them an email this week as well. So, yeah, 100%. Thank you again for doing that, and thank you all who are working on the Preservation Month Committee as well for your guys' hard work of doing this. There's stuff behind the scenes that I don't want to go unrecognized or unnoticed, so thank you. That's what makes these successful events. Okay, I'm excited about these ones. I will also invite Michelle Johnson, who won an award last year, to come. We'll see if Dr. Michelle Johnson will join us this year. If you're watching out there, I don't think we have a lot of watchers, but you're more than welcome to come, and so is the rest of the community. So I hope that people do come out and attend it. As I've said in the past, again, kind of repetitively. This is the one opportunity that I feel like I have, and I'm probably exaggerating a little bit, but to really celebrate and step away from kind of the administrative or step back from the role of quasi-judicial looking at building stuff, and we are really celebrating the community with the Historic Preservation Awards of Merit. This is an opportunity for us to uplift all the folks who are doing the work in the community and make preservation possible in the community. It is meant to be truly, and again, not being facetious here, a joyous occasion. So I'm glad that we're putting in this work and we're able to repay the community in this way to say, hey, we recognize the work that's being done in the community. Thank you for doing this work in the community. So it's an exciting time of the year for me. It caps off Preservation Month, May, by having it at the end of the month. May is also, there's a lot of other months that have May too. I'm learning this more and more every year. So, but we can share it well. Things like Bicycle Month is also May. Oh. There's another one that I just saw recently, but there's, other things are also sharing it as well. So.
Want to state for the record when and where this is happening as a reminder, since we're inviting people?
Yes. So Nora said earlier, the 27th of May, 6 p.m., but we will be having it. I did get confirmation yesterday from KNAC that we can have it at their building once again this year. So keeping that rolling of having it there. It's at a central location. Downtown is everyone's neighborhood. So KNAC is 315 West Michigan, the old First Baptist Church, now Kalamazoo Nonprofit Advocacy Coalition. I think this is going to be like the 4th year in a row that we've had it there, so I'm very thankful that they're letting us have it there again. Bring friends and family if you do attend. Friends or family, whichever combination you choose.
Okay, and as Pam pointed out, the application for the mini grant was submitted incorrectly. This was submitted as a request for the O'Connor Fund grant, not the mini grant. I understand there is some confusion there, but looking at this, does anybody know, is there some need to have this very quickly?
I don't know about quickly, but I mean, summer work would be good to get started. So I think that's what Gary's looking for.
I mean, it was just the wrong application, but it still ticks almost all the boxes that they would just need to come and present, correct? Did they speak to you, Louise?
They did. I'll completely own this flub. Last week was crazy for me, but that's not an excuse, but I'll own this flub here. Spoke with Gary, and I just got the process mixed up in my head. So I apologize to everyone for that. I don't think that detracts from the impressiveness in any capacity of Gary's application. So Gary's out of town right now anyways. Gary couldn't have been here this evening anyways. So I think that does become a bit moot pointish, but we have it. This is not an O'Connor Fund grant application, as Pam stated earlier, so I want to make sure that we're very clear about that. This is not an application for the O'Connor Fund grant process, right? So don't want there to be confusion there. We are not jumping the gun with that for the other applicants that are looking to do that. Again, for the folks at home that are watching, if you're filling out one of the applications, that is not this. The wrong form was filled out, so I apologize for that. That being said, I will connect with Gary. I'll let him have his vacation, but I'll connect with him and say, hey, could you come give a presentation at the May meeting of the Historic Preservation Commission? 3 minutes. I'm sure that there will be a commissioner that picks it up. Looking at Dusty, but I'm not saying it's going to be Dusty, right? For endorsement, and then we will move forward with it. Questions?
I just want to say I apologize as well, because Gary did send it to me to proof, and I didn't catch that the form was the wrong one. I do feel bad about that.
I think no harm, no foul, and I will. I'll take the blame with Gary, so don't worry about it. That was my bad. I talked to him. Like I said, last week was just crazy. I got it. I was putting it together, and then did not allow myself enough time. So, all that being said, I, again, think that Gary has put together a wonderful application. He has a letter of endorsement from James Baker, who is the Director of Public Services here, which is like a very strong letter, in my opinion, to have. So I can't understate that enough. That's a big deal, in my opinion, to have that letter. As Pam just kind of said to me before, I think Gary went a little above and beyond with the application here. He gave us a lot of materials. That's not a negative statement in any way, but it shows, I think, his dedication to this work, right? So this is not, no reprimand included here. This is, I'm not trying to give any reprimands here. We will continue down the correct path. No harm, no foul, in my opinion, here. I could give myself even more leeway. Like, this is the first time we've done this since we made the new process, you know, but that's just me getting myself off the hook a little bit more. Is it working? Did it work? Okay. Yes, please.
That's okay. The other thing that we should do right now is to make sure it's renamed on the O'Connor Fund website so that people can identify it correctly.
Yes. I do anticipate.
Do you want me to nudge you on that,
Nude or nudge, please
Whatever.
do, yes.
You want me to?
Yes.
I will.
I think that we can probably anticipate maybe minor confusion with the micro grant thing, but that's just the way that it's going to be because we're not allowed to call them gifts. So that's okay.
We will look at the opening paragraph on the O'Connor Fund page and see if we can make it more clear there.
Yes. Okay. Sounds good.
I have a question. If Gary is still out of town for the May meeting, can he have someone else make that presentation for him?
Yes, that was part of it, that a commissioner could make the presentation as well, as long as they've worked together on the application. Yeah, that can happen.
I'm seeing a different opinion from.
That was not what was intended, but.
I think a representative of the organization.
The representative, yeah, or.
That was
yes.
my take on it too, that
Yeah.
I know it's not just Gary running the show, so.
So a representative of the organization could then give the presentation.
Yes.
Okay. Square rectangle situation there, right? But I understand what you're asking. Any other questions? Do we feel good about it? Good. Seeing some nodding.
All right, then moving on to the coordinator's report.
Yes, nothing included here. Sorry about that, but I want to make some comments. Pam said that the MHPN conference is coming up. I bought the tickets for you guys today. I don't know if you guys got emails. Okay. Hoover is kind of weird. Sorry, MHPN, if you're watching. I think that they made accounts for you guys, so if you want to use those accounts, talk to me offline. We made like dummy passwords for you. So you can get them if you want, or you probably can just reset the passwords. Let us know, but we did sign you guys up. If you got emails, that means you're good to go. So Kayla and Kyle and Dusty, I'm guessing Gary's all got the email. Okay, sweet. That means it worked. Yes, so all signed up, all good to go. We made it happen. Very excited for it. Always an interesting conference, and I think it's great that it's in the Lower Peninsula this time. Not that it was not fun to get to the destination of Sault Ste. Marie last year, but it's really good to have it, I think, down here where it's a little bit more accessible. Always happy when any of my commissioners can go as well, so I'm happy that you guys will be there as well. Kayla and I are speaking on a panel, or whatever you want to call it. Panel, I guess. And then Pam and I are speaking on a panel together, right? With Carla. Both of mine are on the same day. I didn't know that. I know. Yeah, it's okay. But I think if you get it spread out to different days, you get a reduced rate for both days. So I need to try to work on that in the future. But excited to have folks. I don't know, do they stream MHPN at all? Do people know?
They used to record for replay, but they are not doing that this year, unfortunately.
Okay. HDC was wondering that. So there is that. Want to thank Melissa and Fred for their willingness to continue on with us for a little bit. Sorry that got a little bit confusing and messy with everything. Folks in the clerk's office really helped me out and said that we don't have any stipulations written into our bylaws right now for you guys to continue on. So they used the city commission rule of an extension for your terms. They were like, we can go up to 6 months, and I put you guys both down for 6 months. That does not mean you have to serve for the remaining 6 months, but you have up to 6 months to continue to serve if you would like. So I appreciate you guys willing to help me out and help the commission out a little bit and continue to be here. So thank you so much. Well, we're giving out thanks and just, congratulations. Congratulations, Kyle, on your new role. And congratulations, Patrick and Kyle, sorry, on both of your new roles of chair and vice chair. So I think you're doing a wonderful job so far, Patrick, of chairing the meeting. So, yeah. Yeah, you're figuring out.
Hey, it only took like 2 or 3 tries.
You're figuring out the cough button, as they call it up there. But thank you so much for filling in those roles as well.
Make sure you straighten that out on the website and on the packets too.
I will. We gotta. Yeah, I will. Late week for me last week. I think those are all the really big things that I have right now. I don't think I can think of anything else. We will be starting next week the condition assessment report of City Hall, beginning it. I have to get right away stuff squared away still because they're bringing in a man lift and trying to access all different sides of the building. I think is going to be a little interesting. The east side is you're not going to be able to use a man lift on the east side of the building. So, but that's exciting, using a CLG grant on that, Certified Local Government Grant from the State Historic Preservation Office, which I'm always happy to get money, but always happy to work with the SHPO on that kind of stuff, and always eternally grateful to our grants team and eternally grateful to the facilities management team here at the City of Kalamazoo for doing such an excellent job of maintaining the building and caring about the building. I don't think we'd be in City Hall right now if it was not for the facilities management team. So thank you guys. I don't think I can ever talk about the building without mentioning them. And I think that's all the news that I have that's fit to print, but there's other stuff.
I mean, Pam tooted your horn online among ourselves, but shouldn't we also mention your nomination to the MHPN board?
Should we mention it? You did. No, I know. Well, thank you so much. Yes. I don't know if I'm officially on it yet. I think I still have to get formally appointed, but yes. So, yes, one of the Michigan Historic Preservation Network Board of Directors members now. So, exciting stuff. I think it's going to be no responsibilities, very easy. Yeah, no. There are some responsibilities that come with it, but I was more than happy to accept when Janet reached out and said, hey, we are looking for folks. Would you be willing to do it? So I think MHPN does a lot for preservation in Michigan. That probably sounds like an empty statement, but they are the biggest nonprofit for preservation in the state. They always organize the conference in the state, which is the biggest conference that we have for preservation in the state, so more than happy to reciprocate there. The conference is great, I think, for going to all the sessions, but it also really is invaluable to be able to go and talk with folks, and it pulls me every time out of my my kind of bubble every time I go to the MHPN to realize that we're not going through any of these preservation things alone. It's happening across the entire state. Not only is having the opportunity to talk and gripe wonderful, but it's also great to meet new folks, catch up with old folks, and then old friends, and then realize that there's probably some ways that other folks are thinking about some of your problems that you have not considered, which might help. So always thankful to MHPN. Looking forward to that position on the board. Thanks, Kyle.
All right, any other commissioner comments tonight?
I just have one. For people who might be watching at home, Association of Gravestone Studies, their conference is, the opening of the conference registration is available on their Facebook, on their website. If you Google Association of Gravestone Studies, it is coming to Grand Rapids this year. There are tours of cemeteries on Wednesday that will include Mountain Home. We're going to go to Oak Hill in Battle Creek, Mountain Home, and Prospect Hill down in Paw Paw. There is also a preservation workshop all day Saturday. If any of those things sound interesting and you're not a member of that group, you can still register as a non-member for the tours, for the workshop. Should be really interesting. It's the first time it's been in Michigan in a very long time. I can't remember what it was here last, so it's all pretty exciting. Just want to get that out there.
Thank you, Dusty. What was the date again? Can you just say it again?
Yeah, I should say that, shouldn't I? It's usually Juneteenth week, but this week it is not. It is the 24th of June through the 27th.
Most excellent. Thank you.
Yeah.
Commissioner comments? Later next month, the Three Sisters Garden Planting Series begins. The first planting is Saturday, May 23rd at Bronson Park at 11 a.m., followed by the following week, May 30th, and then in June, the third planting will take place. I've got a formal brochure. If you want, I could email to people. Would that be a good way to formally get that out? It's on my phone.
Who made the brochure?
Monica, Tree of the Kalamazoo Blue.
Yeah, you can send it over to me and I'll look at it and stuff. But yes,
Send it
we
to
will
you.
get folks.
Okay.
Yes.
And then to clarify, is that part of what we're seeing over? Am I on? I'm on, okay. I did see some people discussing, debating what's happening over at the mound in Bronson Park.
The
So is that
mound
part of
is
that?
different.
That's a different project? Okay.
Different project.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Fred.
Same Gun Lake tribe, but
Different projects, though. Yes.
this is coordinated with the Language and Culture Department from Gun Lake, the Tribal Preservation Department, and the Gun Lake Youth are going to be doing the planting. So it sounds like it's going to be quite a good program.
Just because it came up, I can make clarifying remarks regarding the mound right now. So this is not a new project that came out of the blue. This is a project that has been going on for a long time over at the mound. I think that when Lakota came to speak last year, it sounded like some iteration of this project has probably been happening since about '95. So it's been a long time coming, right? So I want to make that crystal clear to everyone, and again, everyone that's watching, that this is not a new iteration. This is not the city acting unilaterally either to do anything to the mound. What is going on right now is going to be the first iteration or the first part of the project that we discussed earlier. We're just getting the mound ready, prepped for planting. I'm also just going to come out and say right now, too, that I am not the guy to talk to about planting, so I don't really know like what the steps are and stuff, but this is prepping it, killing the grass on the mound so we can prepare for some native planting. All of this work has been done in conjunction with the Gun Lake tribe, so this is not, again, the city just saying like, hey, we're sick and tired of looking at it this way, we want to change it. This is done in concert with the Gun Lake tribe to make sure that we're kind of still falling in line with all the steps that we had for the project that was outlined before, looking at the, to me, the best way to explain it is demarcating the mound a little bit more clearly, right? So having the native planting on the mound, grandmother and grandfather stones, and then the interpretive signage that we had as well. So the first sign is going to be doing the plantings right now. Again, I'm not going to speak to anything regarding planting because I'm not the guy to talk to for that. That's what this is. Everything that's going on out there right now, we didn't tarp it because we didn't want a tarp to get taken, so it's just like cardboard with dirt over it, with wood chips over it to smother it out and stop the light from getting in to get the grass killed so we can work on next steps.
And people with questions, should they go to Kalamazoo in Bloom or should they go to the Gun Lake Tribe Facebook page?
For questions regarding what?
The mound is...
Both.
Only Kalamazoo and Bloom would deal with the Three Sisters planting, and the garden over here is where that's going to be across from the Park Club. But yeah, the mound.
You know, I think that if people have questions regarding the mound, they can certainly always reach out to me. We can work together with the tribe if they want to field any questions. I don't, I don't ever want to inundate anyone with the questions, but I'm more than
Oh,
happy
yeah,
to talk to
that
folks.
wasn't my intent at all.
No, and I don't think it was at all, but people can always reach out to me. I know that there was a press release that went out that I think got edited a couple times, but we are on track to do things that we've been talking about for a while. It's just that I think now that when we saw the change happen out there, it probably could be a little bit jarring, but yes, as the city, we're doing our best to work in concert with the Gun Lake Tribe to make sure that everything is done the correct way here.
Thanks for clarifying, guys. I appreciate it.
Yep.
And our mini grant for that already went out?
No.
No.
Anything else?
Are we still good to just do our regular May meeting? 'Cause sometimes like we tend to reschedule for May since it gets really busy.
That's a good question. Scheduled for May 12th, correct?
May 13.
Yes, May 13th.
I see no issue. I mean, let me double check that. Yeah. It's the week after MHPN still, but
Yeah, it's close, but I was just thinking, if in fact Gary or one of the representatives are planning to come back, probably be a good idea to be on the regular meeting.
yes. Just for the record, Pam said, just in case Gary or someone representing FKHC, Friends of Historic Kalamazoo Cemeteries, is that it? Okay. If someone from Gary Swain's organization was wanting to come back, it'd probably be best that we hold the meeting on the regular date, and I appreciate that comment, so there's no confusion. So yes, as of now, I'm still planning on holding the meeting on May 13th.
All right. Well, we will see everyone then. It's 6:47. There we go.